Wait, who gave me this money? I still don't have fund fair permission slip for money from the Hoods and Joey and Ardell. So what is Monday? Monday we're up to.
Fun Sunday.
20 bucks. 20 schmoles. It was half price 2 days ago. Number one, boys and girls and kids of all ages should be, tell me if I'm right or wrong, 7u squared plus 9u plus 14, yay or nay?
Yay.
Number two, z squared plus 8z plus 2, yay or nay? Wait, that was not very perfect. Did I do something wrong? Wait. Is it not z squared plus 8z plus 2?
Yeah, I got that too.
No, plus 2. It is plus 2. Number three should be 10. 10, 4 should be 8. 4 is 8. 5 is x squared minus 2x minus 63. X squared minus 2x minus 63. 6 is 3w squared plus 9w minus 12. 7 is 9k squared minus 6k plus 1. 8, 4b squared minus 4. 4b squared minus 4. 9, I have 9z cubed minus 6z squared minus 3z. 10, negative 4w to the 4th plus 2w to the 3rd minus 4w squared. 11, x plus 4 times x plus 1. X plus 4 plus x plus times x plus 1. 12, y plus 6 times y plus 4. Y plus 6 times y plus 4. 13, 2f plus 5 times f plus 1. 2f plus 5 times f plus 1. 14, 4h minus 5 times 4h plus 5. 4h minus 5 times 4h plus 5. Vidim, your answers were negative 8 and 1. Negative 8 and 1. 16, negative 1/5, negative 2/5. Negative 1/5 and negative 2/5. 17 is 3/8 and negative 6. 3/8 and negative 6. 18 is 0 and 5/8. 0 and 5/8. 19 is 0 and 3. 0 and 3. 20 is 0, 1, and 2. 0, 1, and 2. 21 is 2h squared plus 7 times 2h minus 1. 2h squared plus 7 times 2h minus 1. 22 is 9s squared plus 7 times 2s minus 5. 9s squared plus 7 times 2s minus 5. The answer, my friends, is blowing in the wind. Letter A, the binomial that represents the height of the window is, I don't know, x squared minus 8x plus 5? Plus 15, sorry. X squared plus minus 8x plus 15. The answer, when all the smoke clears, is 24 feet. 24 feet, I believe. Can't really read the problem as much. Zach. Answers first. I think we'll get answers. Then we'll get to how do you do, Elizabeth? Who? 14, I have 4h minus 5 times 4h plus 5. Core.
For number 4, it says state the number of terms, not the degree.
You are right. 4 should be 3. Thank you for that. I keep saying it in an accusatory fashion. I don't know, this was an old one, so I don't know, maybe somebody can correct me on that. You are very correct on that. Michael?
For 16, isn't the other one supposed to be 5, negative 5?
There's a good chance. 16 shouldn't be what?
You said 1/5 and 2. I have negative 1/5 and negative 5.
Yeah. Good call on that one. Again, somebody didn't. I didn't even do this one this year. For number 16, the two answers should be negative 1/5 and negative 5/2. Good call. Suze?
For number 4, was it 3 terms?
Number 4 was 3, yes. Hey,
What was the answer number 1?
1 should be 7u squared plus 9u plus 14. Okay, Kelsey?
What was 12?
4, again?
No, 12.
12. Y plus 6, y plus 4. Chase?
What was 7?
7, I have 9k squared minus 6k plus 1. Joey?
What was 46?
Wait, was that one you didn't do?
Yeah.
Well, why would I give you the answer when you can do it? You do it, and I'll tell you if your answer is right. Elizabeth?
What was 2?
What was 2? 2 was z squared plus 8z plus 2. Boys and girls, here is where you solve all of the world's problems. Now, who was it over there? Somebody asked me a question, I said, Zach. Which one?
16.
Do I still need to do it, or did you figure it out?
I was just wondering how you got negative 2/5, because I got 3 good by
Oh, you mean after Michael corrected me and I switched and said the actual answer is negative 5/2? You still want me to do that, or is that? Suze,
Can you do number 1?
can I do number 1? There's a good chance. I would say for problem number 1, ladies and gentlemen, do not overthink the problem. Number 1 is just adding like terms. If I can go back to number 1. If you struggle with 1 or 2, you really shouldn't, because if I were you, I would just rewrite the whole problem so it doesn't have a parenthesis. If there's an addition sign in front of a parenthesis, it doesn't change anything. You have, oh boy. This is not gonna be a good day. How is that? This is no way to end the school year. Give me another second try on this. So, number 1, again. So, it's 6u plus 8, and to that you're adding 7u squared plus 3u plus 6. Nothing changes, you are just combining like terms. Now, just because we're talking about it, on this one, because it's minus, when you do this, this becomes minus, that becomes minus. When you subtract, you have to change them to their opposites. Not the case here. So, starting with the u squared, there are no other u squared terms, so you keep 7u squared. You do have a 6u and a 3u. You're not multiplying, so they don't become u squared. 6u's plus 3u's is 9u's. And then 8 plus 6 is 14. Hopefully that's what I said, because that's not multiplying. You don't have any u squared. You don't have any of that. Susie.
Can you do number 9?
9, again, should not be too terribly difficult. It's just distributive properties. Susie. What did you get for an answer, Susie?
3z plus 1 and then z minus.
How do you get where do you get a 3z from?
I don't know.
Oh, you are just taking 3z and multiplying it by all 3 of these things. Mr. Distributive property. 3z times 3z squared is 9. Here you are multiplying, so the z's do change. A z times a z squared is a z cubed. Minus 3 times 2 is 6, and z times z is z squared. 3z times a minus 1 is minus 3z. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Do your best, do your best, do your best. Hadley.
Number 2.
Number 2. thought I went over number 2. Number 2. So, Hops, are you with me on this? That yeah, it's a little smaller. Okay, if there's not a negative in front of the parentheses, it just stays the same. So this one's just going to stay 9z squared plus 8z plus 4. There's a minus in it, just like it's distributive property. You're actually multiplying by a -1. You get minus 8z squared. And this is where people usually forget. They think this is a +2, but it's not, because you have to distribute out that it's a -2. Then when you combine, as farmers like to do, 9z squared minus 8z squared is just z squared. There are no other z terms, so it's just 8z. And -8 and a -2 put together is a -10. Where, Hops, did you go wrong?
Distributed property. Also, I got everything from.
You multiplied everything? Yeah, there's no, parentheses have to be together for it to be multiplication. Oh, and
You were supposed to combine the positive for
what?
the +4 and -2. You did
What?
-8 and -8z squared.
Wait, where, oh, it's this one and this one. I saw the -8, sorry. Could be +2. Again, that's not accusing you of intentionally sabotaging this. This was a, yeah, I looked at the -8. Wow, how many mistakes is that today? That helps number 3, isn't it? Wait, you had another one. Owen had his hand up way before that. I was gonna say, did you have your hand up like knowing I was gonna miss a problem? Wait, can I do 20? Well, the problem I have with 20 is I don't know if I could actually read the numbers. So if you could read the numbers, then I think I can do it. Let's look at number 20. Let's see if I can make heads or tails. It really shouldn't be that hard. A wall contains a rectangular window. The area. Oh. I couldn't. Now you're laughing at me. You're not laughing with me now. You're laughing at me. Wait, did I do this one wrong? Are you asking because I did this wrong, or are you asking because?
No, I just got it wrong.
Oh.
I don't know why.
So step number 1, anytime you factor, you can't solve this till you get this to be something times something times something, because you need to figure out when those things are 0. So step number 1, always in factoring is, this is where you jump in. Step number 1 in factoring always is, anybody else? Harper Gilman. Step number 1 in factoring always is, Zach. Do they have something in common you can take out of all of them? And yes, they do. What can you take out of the numbers? And what can you take out of the letters? An X. So your first step is you should take a 2x out of all 3 of those. And you're left with an x squared minus 3x and a plus 2. How many of you did that? If you don't do that, you're probably not going to get it right. Maybe you could. I don't know. Then you have to look at this as being a factor all by itself there. Then you have to try to see if you can break this trinomial down into 2 binomials. And is there a number, or is there, how do you get +2? Then we add those factors together, you get -3. We discussed this ad nauseum. The only way to get a positive number is for them both to be positive or both to be negative. In this case, it's a -2 times a -1. I know, I wrote a -2. You don't have to yell at me. Then, once you have it factored, you ask yourself, when is this 0? When x is 0. When is this 0? When x is +2. When is this 0? When x is 1. Mucky Waters cleared up on that one? Does that help? Suze!
Can you do number 10?
Mostly I would say yes. Today I'm not sure. Again, Sue, how did you go about doing this one, Susie?
I got rid of the negative, W squared,
You did what with it?
got rid of it,
And how did you get rid of such a thing?
put it outside the parentheses.
It is outside the parentheses.
Well, like, the top is W and square.
It's what?
The top is W and square.
Wait, am I supposed to factor or am I supposed to simplify? What's the direction? Multiply. Did it say multiply?
Yeah,
Did you multiply anything?
no,
Okay, well, that would be a mistake there, Sue. You take this and multiply it by everything inside the parentheses. Negative W squared times 4W is negative 4W, W to the fourth. W squared times W squared is W to the fourth. Negative times a negative gives you a positive for the second term. 2 times 1 is 2. W squared times W is W to the third. Negative W squared times 4 is negative 4W squared. Nothing more than that. He says multiply distributive property. Whew. Joey,
9x squared plus 7y.
22 is 9s squared outside the parentheses, 2s minus 5 times. Oh, I'm sorry, 9s squared plus 7 times 2s minus 5. Is that what you got?
Yeah.
So you did know how to do it. You're just making that up and you said you didn't do it because you didn't understand it.
No,
Gavin, did you explain it to him?
yeah, I still don't know how to do it.
Oh.
Wait, I think I did it wrong. Do I have to have a plus sign in the middle?
Oh, 9s squared plus 7, yeah.
Yeah, boy, that's my answer.
Should be 2 parentheses times each other.
Oh.
Jason,
Why don't you factor it to 0?
because the directions weren't to factor, it was to multiply. Factoring is the reverse of multiplying. It's actually taking it apart from being a multiplication problem. This one said to multiply, the other one said to factor. Actually, when you factor something, you don't make it in its simplest form, but sometimes you have to factor problems to solve it. The reason why we factor trinomials is because that gives us an option to solve. Because once you get it factored, then you can solve it by looking for what's called its roots. Grace Fulmerding. I would love to do 16. Ladies and gentlemen, if you struggle with these, I will tell you, you probably don't struggle when it's this. Grace, you probably don't struggle. If this was the problem, you don't struggle, right? Because it's really easy to figure out when this is 0 because it's 8, right? 8 minus 8, and that's negative 2.2. These aren't so hard. When you get to the ones that are hard, you want to know when will this parenthesis be equal to 0. So sit down and write a separate equation asking yourself that question. When will 5n plus 1, when does that equal 0? And just solve it. Just like any other equation. I subtract 1 to get rid of the 1, and I divide by 5 to get rid of the 5. So my answer is, when x is negative 1/5, this will be 0. Because 5 times a negative 1/5 actually gives me a negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Same thing over here where I was corrected 3 times on this. I need to get my 5 over there. I subtract 5, I subtract 5, divide by 2, divide by 2. When x is negative 5/2, this will give me 0 there. So those are my 2 answers to those things. Note the self. Susie,
Can you do that extra credit, like both A and B?
I don't know. I tried once and everybody else did.
That's a wrong problem.
I've done it all a long time ago. Let me see. What does it say to do? A wall contains a rectangular window. The area in square feet of the window is represented by x squared, I'm gonna write that down, x squared minus 8x plus 15. That's what? The area of the window. Write a binomial that represents the height of the window. Well, contains the area of the window. So, here's the deal. You know that the width of the window is x minus 3. You want to know what the height of the window is. Well, I'm going to guess if you took the trinomial that represented the entire area of a window, oh, what's the area of a rectangle? Length times width. You already know one of them is x minus 3. You are hoping, ladies and gentlemen, that when you factor this trinomial into two binomials, one of them will be x minus 3 because the other one would be the other one that's missing. So, Susie, can you factor x squared minus 8x plus 15 for me? What times what gives me positive 15, when added together gives me minus 8? 5 and 3. Is it plus 3 or minus? Nope. Two negatives give you the positive 15, and add those together, you get the negative 8. So look, this binomial is the width of the window, x minus 5, which should have been the answer for letter A. Letter A is x minus 5. That's the height of the window. And then they just said this. If you know that the perimeter, find the perimeter of the window when the height of the wall is 10 feet. Well, look at this x, and that x are all the same x. I know this x is 10, so this x has to be 10, that x has to be 10, and they just want the perimeter of the window. What is 10 minus 5, Susie? 5. What is 10 minus 3, Susie? Huh? What is the perimeter of the window if I have 2 7s and 2 5s? I believe it's 24. Is that the answer I gave? There was. I don't know. Was it? Oh, was. Joey, your thoughts? Elizabeth!
Can you do 11?
Number 11. Number 11. Elizabeth, where did this give you trouble? You understand it's x times x, right? You just need to find these two numbers?
Yeah, I just forgot how to do it.
Well, you just ask yourself, what two numbers multiplied together give you a plus 4 when added together give you a plus 5? So Elizabeth, first thing I would do is, what ways can I multiply numbers to give me a 4? There's not very many. 2 times 2. Is there another combination of something that gives me 4? 4 times 1. Now, Lizzie, in which one of those combinations can I get a 5 by adding or subtracting? Can I get a 5 with 2 2's? No. Can I get a 5 with that? Yes. So there is yours. They're both plus, so this has to be plus 4 plus 1. Just that easy. And how's the scribbling going? Good? And 9876543 Wait, Joey! Oh, your hand's not up. Did I already do 21? I already did 21. Did I do 21? Oh, nobody ever asked about factoring by grouping. Joey, only way to factor a 4-term polynomial is to group it. So you look at the first 2 terms. what can I take out of 4h cubed and a minus 2h squared? A 2, what about the h's? I can take h squared out, right? What am I left with if I take 2h squared out of that? H. What am I left with if I take a 2h out of that? 2h squared out of that? A 1. You have to think this is multiplication. 2h squared times what gives me minus 2h squared? A minus 1. What would I do? That's what I have, yeah. Let's see, I think I wrote it, but didn't write it down. So, you are hoping, Joey, that at this point, when your next parenthesis could have that in it too. So you look at 14 minus 7, 14h minus 7, what can you take out of that, Joey? Plus 7. What's left when you take the plus 7 out? 7 times what is 14? 8. And 7 times what gives you minus 7? Minus 1. If you get the same exact parentheses, that is one of the binomials. The other binomial comes when you put this with that. 2h squared plus 7. Yeah, did I make any mistakes there? Okay. I got your bad chair. Well, be closer. Put the storage table away. One of those giant heavy gym chairs fell off the rack. Can you tell it hurts? It does. But I did get smashed. Last one, Carrie Dixon, I can tell you want to ask something. Nothing whatsoever, I should ask individually. Molly, anything? Harper, anything? Lexi, anything? Zachary, anything? All right, good, so then I shall close this session. Last one, really. Last time I'll ever stand up here and make a mistake. I feel bad about that. Well, just a little bit. I then will, do I have enough? No. Give you a test note, and if you want to start on your extra credit, you could do that. Why? What, Monday? Oh, some stuff. Not really.